Well, good evening, everybody. Happy Friday night. Welcome back. Welcome back to Onward No Matter What in our conference calls. In case you don't know me, which is crazy, because why would you be on the call if you were not knowing me and who I am or who my husband Lee is? We are senior executive unit leaders with Avon, and we have opened up our calls nationally for over a year now. So we have a lot of adoptees out there, a lot of what we call our Onward peeps, and of course many from our own team, Team Onward, who are on the call with us hopefully tonight. We feel like we have been gone forever. I don't know if it feels that way to you, but it feels that way to me. But we are back. You know, I have been to Puerto Rico on the Avon trip, which was absolutely amazing. And if you've never been on one, you really need to shoot for that because there is nothing like it. They just treat us like princesses and princes and queens and kings, and it is just an awesome time to network with people. We also were lucky enough to head up to the house that Avon built, as we call it, which is Lisa Wilbur's house, and we were part of the Sophia Smith Foundation Ride of Life to help them raise money there for a big party, big outing event that she was having with many of our senior friends that were there, and it was such a good time. Again, a great cause, but also to get together and really partner with people and be able to see what they're doing in their business or not talk about business at all and just enjoy each other's company. So we hope that you're as excited to have us back as we are to be back. If this is your first time on the call, welcome. I will tell you that my calls are very raw. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that absolutely I pretty much speak what I feel, and it's no different in my calls. And we are doing something a little different tonight, so if you notice I'm acting a little freaked out, I'm kind of videotaping at the same time that I'm doing this conference call, so that those of you who seem to like it better when I do videos rather than just listening to me on the phone, you're going to get the best of both worlds. So, you know, that means you get to see me. You know, those who can't see me, drink my drink, but I always have it with me on Friday nights on the conference calls. I told you tonight it is Bailey's, an international delight. So yes, it is here. So I hope everybody's got what they want, and because we're going to have a little realism. You know, I've been following you guys. I haven't been able to post a lot because I've been so busy, but I've been following a lot of the flow on Onward and just the private messages that you send me that I'm able to answer, and just seeing what's going on out there in your heads. And you know, Eric Mullins, for all of you who know Eric, he is an executive unit leader with Avon, and I don't do anything to make his head swell too much because we all know that he can do that on his own, but he is a good friend to me, and he brought up something on a conversation with me, and I think he also posted it on Onward, so many of you may have caught that. But he was talking about how, you know, people are always saying that, you know, they wish they were Molly STONE-BIBB. They wish that, you know, they could do things like me. They wish that they could have ideas or be successful like me or Lisa Scola or Teresa Paul or the Marianne Penns or the Pat Putzers or so many of the seniors out there. And you know, I said, well, yeah, everybody wants to get their S on and be a senior. That's pretty awesome. I admit I tried to do it for a long time before I accomplished it. But he said, what about when you didn't have your S on? What about before all of this started? You know, tell me, you know, people don't realize, am I the person I am today? Is that who I was when I started out? And the truth of the matter is, for any of you who have followed my YouTube videos and you've heard me talk about it, or you were lucky enough to purchase A View from the Top Volume 2 from me or from somebody else, and you read my story, what's crazy is, you know, they limit you to so many words in those chapters, so you have to try to get everything in there in one chapter that you've given, but yet it doesn't really give you a complete, true reflection of exactly what life was before I am where I am now. You know, you always hear country songs and songs about people talking about, they may not be where they want to be, but they're better than they were yesterday. And if you really listen to the words of those songs, the truth of the matter is, there is a lot of truth to them. So we're going to talk about that. But what that requires of me to talk to you about it, it requires me to revisit exactly who I was before I started Avon. And this is where I think a lot of you may be able to say, oh my gosh, that's where I am now, or oh, I remember when I was there, or oh, I'm heading in the right direction. And for any of you who have met me, hey, there was a lot of you that I met for the very first time at Lisa Wilbur's, and that was absolutely awesome because, you see people's pictures on Facebook, and you feel like when we're on here, we feel like we've known each other forever, but reality is when you meet somebody, it is so exciting to finally get to meet them and put your arms around them and hug them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I had so many people say to me, you really are real, and I thought, I really am real? Yeah, I really am. But I get it. There's less than 200 seniors in the whole country. And when you're thinking between 300 and 400,000 representatives in just the U.S. alone, you're like, wow, I get to meet one of them. But this is what I'm telling you. This is the truth. We are no different than any of you. We have either been where you're at, some of us are still struggling with the same things that we've been struggling with from the beginning, but I have been a work in progress for 51 years. And it's really weird. I thought by the time I hit my 50s, I would really be one of those people who would be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 50. I want to say I'm 21 with 30 years experience. And the truth of the matter is, that the end of my 40s and the beginning of my 50s, and the story is, as tough as they've been, some of those years have just been the best years of my life because it's when most of my learning about myself and the growth in myself came to be. And if you're like me, you're a little bit hard on yourself sometimes. And if you know what I'm talking about, feel free on the onward call part, feel free to just, put your thoughts out there, because sometimes when you actually put your thoughts, write them down, and you look at what you're saying, you're like, yeah, that's kind of me. I don't journal every single day, but when life is tough, I journal. I do, because sometimes I feel like it's the only way I'm going to get what I'm feeling out, and sometimes it still doesn't make sense, but I still do it. Or you'll find that I will, me, if I'm journaling something that I think could touch somebody else, they're going through the same thing, then I'm going to journal on Facebook, and I let you guys in on what I'm feeling, or maybe something I've experienced or I'm revisiting it. And that's hard for a lot of people, but for me, it feels like therapy. You know how many of you say, oh, wow, Molly, I really needed that. Thank you so much for putting that on there. And I'm thinking, dude, that was for me, man. It was my own therapy. That's what it was. But I realize it's not just me. Isn't it great to know that you're not always alone? Isn't it great to know that there are other people who may be more successful than you right now, who either have struggled with what you're struggling with, or maybe they still struggle with it? Because what my mama said a long time ago is so very true. And by the way, today is my mama's birthday, and although I lost my mama when I was 16 years old, the birthday still means something in this world. I always wonder, what would she think? Would she be proud of me? What did I take away, from her? So, Pat George was a very special person in my life, but so many things she left me in just 16 years of my life. I realize now, older, that it's very true. That it's harder to repeat a bad habit. It's easier to go be the bad side of what you were doing than it is to make a change and decide that you're going to be the better side of something. And what I want to talk to you about tonight is exactly who I was when I first started. So if you're a newbie and you are on this call, you may be exactly with what I'm going to talk about, exactly where I was at that time, and things that I still fight about, that I still go, oh man, Molly, you can't go back to doing that. What's wrong with you, girl? Get it together. You can't go back to being that way. You can't go back letting people step on you. You can't go back and not become the strong person that you were in the midst of becoming. You have got to move onward. Remember the motto of the group, which is my personal motto, onward no matter what? That is not just a brilliant saying that I came up with. That is my life. That is when I decided to take control of my destiny and not leave it in everybody else's hands. That is what I have to say to myself time and time and time again. And so many of you have adopted that. I see you posting on Facebook, and somewhere in what you're posting, it will be onward, And what's really cool about that isn't that you may have gotten it from me. What's really cool about that is I feel it when you post it. I feel that you believe it. I feel that you know that you have to go onward no matter what the deal is, or you're going to stagnate where you're at. And that's what we don't want. We don't want anybody. We don't want to leave anybody in the swamps stagnating in negativity and letting somebody hold them back or make them feel like they're not worth who they are. Because everybody has worth. And I want you to think about where you're sitting right now, and look, a lot of what you get on all the calls, you get on, Tawana Lyle's calls, and Lisa Scola's doing calls, and Teresa Paul's doing calls, and and Lisa Monison's doing videos still, and when you're going through, all these calls and things that people are doing, they are giving you things for your business. And to make you not just a better Avon representative, not just a better leader, not just a better salesperson, but better people. Better people. Because look, you can't do what we do. You can't do it and not grow within yourself. You can't. You cannot stay the same person and excel in what you're doing. Because what I have figured out in this business, or any business that you're in, is in order to be great at it, you've got to become better as a person. You've got to grow emotionally. You've got to grow spiritually. You have got to grow. Don't grow physically, because that means your butt's going to expand. Nobody needs a big ass, okay? So that's not what we're talking about. But we're talking about the other stuff. So you want to grow in all the right places. You want to grow, okay? And if you're not, what is the joy in all of this? What is it, just about the size of your wallet? Is it just about the fact that you can say, okay, yeah, I did it? No, it's not. Come on, you got to get real with yourself tonight. You got to open up all those guards tonight, and you have to go back. And for all of you who think that you're not doing anything, for all of those who say, I'm just at the same place, I'm the same place all the time. Well, first of all, let me tell you, you are going to be whatever you say you are. If you say, I'm really lousy at this isn't for me, I'm not going to go any further than what I am, guess what? Welcome to your world. That's what I'm going to tell you. If you don't tell yourself that you're going to be the best that you can be at what you're going to be, that you're not going to improve every day somewhere in your life, then you're not going to. Because your psyche, your brain, you are the only one who can build you up and prove to yourself that you can be better than what everybody else out there is saying. Look, I get it. I read the post. I bet today alone I read 5 posts that said, my friend doesn't believe in Avon. They don't want to buy it. They say that Avon's too hard. They say nobody's going to buy it from me. They say. Well, holy heck, guys, what do you say? Who cares what they say? What are you saying? I would say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I got that one from Lisa Wilbur, too. I'm sorry you feel that way. But you're not the only person out there who I'm going to offer Avon to or the Avon opportunity to. You're not the only person out there that I have to share what I have going on in my life. Because see, what I do with this, my entire life, my business, the whole thing, that's all up to me. And by the way, it's up to you. If I hear one more time, but what happens if I don't have an upline? What happens if my DSM doesn't call me back? Oh my gosh, they're changing my district. They're changing this. What the heck does that have to do with your business? See, that's the problem. The problem is that you have not owned the fact that this is your business. It is not Molly STONE-BIBB's business. It is not your district sales manager's business. You're not responsible for the numbers that they need to bring in. And I'm not saying all of them do that. So if there's any DSMs, and I know there are on the call or divisionals, don't get your panties in a wad, cupcake. That's not what I'm talking about. If you're not doing it, I'm not talking about you. But representatives need to do what's good for their business. And if it means that they only want to work their business 2 days a week, well, one, it ain't going to go very far if that's all they do it. But that is their right. And they can do what they want to do when they want to do it. That is just the key. You know, district managers, divisionals, uplines, all of them, they are there to help you, to guide you, if you accept that assistance. But I am so tired of hearing that the only way somebody is successful is because they have an upline. I could show you case after case after case of senior executives who had no upline, and they are where they want to be. Why? Because they made the decision that they were going to do it. They made the decision that when somebody said something negative to them, that they were going to use that, and they were going to use it as motivation, and they were going to say, yeah, watch me. Yeah, well, I tell you what, in 2 months, let's see who is saying what about who. But you're not going to be saying it about me, because I'm not letting you hold me back. This is the deal. Most of the time, it's not really those people who hold you back. It's you who holds you back. It's you who puts the stumbling blocks in the way. You are the one who will not bend down and move that stone or jump over it or go around it. You just have to make a big dramatic thing about it and go, oh my God, look, this must not be meant to be, because look what's happening in my life now. My kid got the flu, he puked on me all night, and I was going to go do this, but now he's got a fever and I can't, so this must not be meant for me. And I'm here to tell you, thank God that you're doing Avon, so that you can be home with that kid, taking care of that kid. Because going back to my life, when my kids were growing up, I never got that benefit. I didn't get to stay home with my kids when they were sick. No, I had to get somebody to come in and stay with my kids because I couldn't afford to miss work. That's the truth. The doctors I worked for were not going to pay me if I did not show up. So the next time you want to rag on how you think your life is so hard, why don't you think about how much harder it could be? Have you turned your head to the left or the right? Have you heard the next story? I have representatives, I have Avon brothers and sisters who have lost their spouses recently. And I'm watching them on Facebook go onward. I am watching them get out there and work their business and set up their tables and moving forward. And they have lost their other half. Are you kidding me? And you want to complain because your kid is puking on you and you have the ability to stay home and take care of them? Thank you, Avon, for that opportunity. Yeah. See, it's how you look at things. Who was I 10 years ago when Avon started? Well, one thing for sure is I was a broke somebody. That's what I was. But I wasn't just broke. I was broken. See, there's a difference. You don't have money in your wallet, and you don't feel like you're worthy to have money in your wallet. So there's a big difference there. A lot of people ain't got no money because they're busy paying for their kids and things they shouldn't have. But then there's broken, and there's broke, and there's broken beyond all recognition, that you don't even know who you are. So when you hear Fun Lovin' Molly on the conference calls and you're watching my videos and you're telling me how great I am, needless to say, I don't buy into that hype because, see, I know Molly. I know her personally, by the way, very personally. And see, I know where she comes from, and I know she never forgets where she's come from. See, Molly was the person who would have never walked up to somebody and handed them an Avon brochure and say, "Hi, I'm an Avon representative. Have you seen an Avon brochure lately?" No, that wasn't me in the beginning. No, 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 no. See, it's easy for me. Do you all wonder, how many of you get your panties in a wad with me? I mean, you get your ass up on your shoulders with me. Let's be honest. Because I come on to a comment that you make in Onward, and you say, this is the way that you should do this. This is the way to get this done. And you all see me come in 15 comments later, and I say, never forget, ladies and gentlemen, that there are many ways to be successful in this business and in life, and thank God for that Avon opportunity. That there is not just one way for us to be successful in Avon, that there are many ways to make sales, and there are many ways to make it in leadership, and there are many ways to do it both, and you've got to find the way that suits you at the time of your growth. And you have got to go after it and say, if this is the only thing that I'm okay with doing right now, I'm going to do this until my fingernails fall off because I got to be successful at this. You all think I'm just trying to wrong you and say, oh no, that's not right. It's not that what you're saying is not right. But you cannot sit in a group of 6,500 representatives and tell them that your way is the only way to do something. That's wrong. I can think of, my God, 160 different ways that I have used in my business to sell product, bring on people onto my team, and make my business a success and help others do the same. And by the way, you all really want to see me do an appointment, and I get that, okay? But this is the key here. STONE-BIBB could take me doing 6 appointments. He could take me doing 60 appointments. You will never see an appointment done the same way every single time with me. See, that's the mistake people make. They introduce this opportunity. They just do it with bam, bam, this is what you do. This is how it's going to work. Here you go. Here's your books. You want more? This is what you do. Oh, here's your samples for you. Ooh, we can all make money on this. See, that's not how it goes with me. Because I have to figure out what makes somebody tick. And let me tell you why. Because see, when Mary Ann Penn was my representative for 15 years before I became a representative, Mary Ann many times put a recruiting flyer in, talked to me about the Avon opportunity. I was in a place in my life that I didn't have a need for Avon, at least I think now, and I kick myself in the butt, okay, but that's now. But I didn't have a need. Life was okay. Was it perfect? No. Was I in a good place? No. But I wasn't in the place I was in when I said yes. Life changed for me. I lost everything. Everything but my kids. I lost my home. I had no money in the bank. I had to go live with my brother and his wife in their basement. It just wasn't good. I didn't know what I was going to do. They were going to take my van. They came and served me with papers saying, if you don't make this payment, that's it, sister, you're going to be walking. The point is, something changed and I knew I had to do something else. My son was graduating. I wanted to make sure he went to prom. I already had 2 jobs. Y'all know the story. I said, let me do this for a little while and see what'll happen. I was not comfortable with going and handing people brochures, but I also didn't have the time to do that. I worked a full-time job. I was delivering newspapers twice a week in the middle of the night and getting up and working 60 hours a week on top of it, taking care of my kids, not knowing what the next day was going to bring. And Lord knows, the only thing I could do was either give a brochure and run or toss a brochure in the driveway. That is how I built my sales business. That was what was good for me at the time. Me. Do you know why I believe so solely in tossing brochures? And believe me, I say again, I state here, it is not for everybody. It is not going to produce results every single time. A lot of times it's going to produce nothing. There are some places that it's completely against the law to do, or people are going to yell at you, so you cannot have a weak spirit if you're going to toss brochures. You got to learn not to take it personally, and you got to move on. But the reason that I share that, and I did that video, and the reason that, I don't know, last time I looked, it had over 10,000 hits on it. I don't know how many are on it now, but I will tell you this. There are people building their business because they're tossing brochures. There are people building their business because they're taking a chance that if they're not quite brave enough to get out there and knock on a door, or hand to hand in a store, or give one to the person at the drive-through window, if they haven't reached that peak yet, they're pretty sure when nobody's looking they can throw a book in the driveway. And I wanted them to know it's possible. Because the only time I had to toss books to work my business, to try to build sales and get that right now money, was to toss books in driveways from 1 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the morning when I was done with my paper route. That's when I got it done. And I'm here to tell you that because I did it all the time, I did it all the time. I didn't do it once, or the first time I didn't get a customer, I didn't quit. You know what half the problem is with people out there who come into Avon? They're just a bunch of quitters. They don't like it when things get hard. Mommy and Daddy obviously spoiled them, and they just wanted everything to come easy. You know, I just get so tired of it sometimes, so tired of answering the same questions, that we all have frustrations. We've all come from somewhere. But if you're going to give up after the first time of trying everything, or even the second, the third, or the fourth time, you ain't cut out for this, cupcake. If all you want to do is quit, do us all a favor. Just freaking quit. If you don't want to make more out of your life than what you have right now, and all you want to do is whine about what's going on in your life, and you're not looking for somebody to say, yes, you can. Come on, I'm here for you. Let's go. You can do this. Because that's what Onward No Matter What is about. It doesn't mean you can't come in there and talk about your bad day. But don't you come in there expecting to stay in that bad day, because it ain't happening in my group, Cupcake. You got it? Because this is not all about you and your bad day. I got people who are complaining because they're sick, that there's something wrong with them, or, oh, they don't feel good. Well, I got news for you. Some people are 6 foot under, so I would say you got it a little bit better than they do. There are some people who are never grateful for what happens in their life that's great. Somebody gets a customer, and instead of being, woohoo, I got a new customer, they go, they only placed a $15 order. Well, sister, where I come from, that's $15 more than you had sold before. You have got to realize that you are a work in progress. By the way, we are all a work in progress. This sister right here, for those of you who are listening to me, if you watch this video when I'm done, you see this sister staring back at you right here, the one with the big hair. Yes, Teresa Paul, I did my hair for you because it wasn't a hat today, but I did it for you. I want you to know that this sister right here is still working. I am a work in progress. I do not get it right all the time. And don't you believe that there is any senior executive out there who gets it right every single time. And if they do believe they get it right every single time, you better get away from them. Because anybody who thinks they have arrived is getting ready for a fall. That is the truth. I don't care what your title is. Anybody who thinks that your answer is the only right answer out there You are ready for a fall. You better just gear up, put that life vest on. You hear me? You better make sure you got a parachute too, because you are aiming for a fall, and you better make sure that the person who packed your parachute, that you didn't wrong them, or you might be going face down into the dirt. This is the truth. I know, you thought you missed me until tonight, right? You don't miss me no more now. Oh my God, Molly's gotten real. She hitting me between the eyes. Oh my God, I need another drink. Yeah, just go get another drink. You gotta use me for an excuse. That's all right. So here I am. Molly, who doesn't really want to go hand to hand and give anybody anything. And then this is what happened. I was challenged to do more. I was challenged to raise my sales. And look, I would get excited. Look, when I sold $20 more, man, I was the backflip girl. You know this Just For You thing that they're having out there now, where you can have a $100 order or more for the new representatives and they can like earn a product? I can remember we didn't have anything like that now when I first started Avon. And no, it's not like it was the ancient before electricity days. Okay, it was only 10 years ago. But needless to say, we didn't have these awesome things like Jump Start and, and Fast Start and Just For You and all of that stuff. We didn't have all of that, see? You worked your tail off because you had a plan and you wanted to make money and you loved Avon and you loved seeing the results of your work, and we weren't sitting back waiting for Avon to give us anything because we earned every penny of it. See, we never went after a $50 order with a new representative. We were teaching them how to do $300 orders. We were praising them that when it was a $200 order, we knew they could get to the $300 order. We were making sure that we worked our tail off because you didn't make money in Avon. They didn't give you $25 for having somebody place a $50 order, which I don't care if you like it or not. I hate that incentive. I hate it. I think it raises up a lazy wreck. You want to know the truth? You don't have to like me. You can leave my group. I don't care. If you want to stay a unit leader because you can make $25 for a $50 order, sister, let me tell you about what I make on my reps that do $900 and $1,000 every campaign. Let me tell you, do you want to make $65 off that order, or do you want to make $25 one time off of a $50 order? You better expand your brain cells. You better look at the big picture. You better start growing what you got going on somewhere, because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in that $50 world for the rest of your daggone Avon career, which, by the way, is not going to last very long. Seriously? You are going to train somebody to fail in this business? Oh, all you need is a $50 order. No, you need a $50 order because it gets you $25. How many times do I got to say to you, it ain't all about you, Cupcake? And you are never going to be the success that you could be because you have missed the boat every time it's come into the port. Every time. I sat down with this dear lady Gloria yesterday at the Burger King. I posted pictures about it on Onward. Meeting her, listening to her tell me why she wanted to give Avon a try, and realizing what parts of my story could inspire her to say, sister, I know what you see right here, right now. But let me tell you where I came from, because I was where you're at. And she kept saying, are you kidding me? Wow. And I thought, man, it is true. It's not your highest points that inspire people in this business. It is the lowest points of where they could be, maybe where they are, that they don't want to confide in you, to know that they can work up to where you are now. Quit feeding on how much you're making now. I mean, I could go around telling you, I make $2,000 every 2 weeks, and then I'm selling $1,000 worth of Avon, I'm making another $400 off that. Yeah, you know what? They don't care what I'm making right now, 10 years later. They want to know how Avon started changing my life in the beginning. What made me want to stay in this business? You want to know what happened? I started getting stronger as an individual. I had family telling me I was going to fail, that I was stupid, that I was wasting my time. Why don't I get away from that little lipstick thingy? And it hurt my feelings. I'm not going to lie. It hurt my feelings. But something inside me said, I'm not going to let them be right. You know, it's funny. Today, I thank my lucky stars for those people because something happened. And as much as it hurt at the time, it drove me to say, I will not fail at this. I may have been a failure at so many things before, but I'm not going to fail at this. And suddenly I realized I couldn't just toss brochures. I had to start opening my mouth and talking to people because I wasn't going to be a failure. I was going to make those people eat their words every single day. It may have taken a few years, but I was going to make it happen. So what did I do? Man, I was the girl. Let me tell you something. My heart was beating out of my chest, right? You know what I'm saying? I see 5 people standing over there. I know they're standing in the parking lot. They look like really nice ladies, but they could turn really mean if I walk up. And I was trying to talk myself out of it. I don't want to go up and give them a brochure. What if they tell me no? I'm looking at myself in the mirror. They probably would have talked to me because they was scared I was crazy. Because I was talking to myself in the car, trying to talk myself into it. I took a deep breath. I felt like I was going to throw up. And I took 5 brochures and I walked up with my name tag on, and I didn't have an Avon shirt then because I couldn't afford one, but I had a name tag that said Avon. And what happened? What happened? I go up and said, I just started talking fast. I mean, I don't even think they could get a word in edgewise to say no if they wanted to. And I'm like, hi, I'm Molly. I sell Avon. How are you? Have you guys seen the brochure lately? I've got some new ones right here if you're interested. If you're not, it's okay. But hey, I just thought maybe you would like some reading material. Breathe, Molly. Breathe. And you know what happened? While I was talking, running my mouth, they had their hands out and I didn't even see it. They're like, sister, shut up and give me the book. Give me the book. Now, 5 deep people didn't place an order, but one person did. And that person today is still my customer, and she still places her $35, $50, $125 orders. Oh, Molly, I love you. Here's a $15 tip at Christmas time. Why? I realized I had to do more if I wanted more. I know somewhere somebody along the line told a lot of you, and maybe even me, that if you just do a little bit, you're going to get a whole lot. Just go ahead. Well, I got news for you. Whoever told you that, quit listening to them. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You want more? You better get out there and you better grab it. Because if you don't, somebody else is. See, you may not be in the complete predicament that I was in the beginning of my Avon career. But I got news for you. I'm not the only one out there today who was ever in that predicament. There are people out there who were maybe worse off than I was, who didn't feel like they were anything special and that they would never be good at anything. And one day, somebody pushes them off that cliff, pushes them over that line, and they say, no more. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. See, guys, that's what it's about. You don't need to try to be Molly STONE-BIBB. You need to be the best Julie, the best Kathy, the best Susan, the best Bubba, the best Bertha, the best you that you can be. And your goal should always be, always, to be better than you were yesterday. To be a step further that you can say to yourself, man, I did this today. I would have never saw myself do that yesterday. Yesterday, I'm not sure I could have done that. Today I can. Today I did. Tomorrow I'm going to do more. Watch out tomorrow. Here I come. Watch out. You still will have bad days. You know, I always laugh when I'm speaking at speaking engagements, or I'm talking to my team, or whatever it may be. Somebody has said, have you ever wanted to quit? I know where you're, do you ever want to quit? And I'm like, every single day, at least twice a day, something happens and I'm like, I just quit. I ain't doing this no more. I'm cutting my phone off. I'm not talking to another rep. I'm not going to have another customer yell at me. I'm done. I quit. What the heck am I doing in this business? And if you give me 25 minutes, I can't wait to get back into downline manager. I can't wait to see where the next direct delivery order came from. I can't wait for the next representative to call me and ask me a question, because that tells me that they are engaged in their business. You need to worry about the representatives who shouldn't have it yet and they're not calling you. Why aren't they calling you? Sometimes they just walk away. We know that. We can't find them anymore. They're playing hide and go seek with us somewhere. But when you have somebody who, for whatever their reasons are, they really want to get this business, maybe it's not even about the business. Did you ever think that it's not really about Avon at all? Did you ever think for once it's about them and who they want to be? Did you ever think once they just want to feel successful? They want to know what just the edge of success feels like. And what they don't get is they've made it to the next day and they're still in it to win it. And the success is happening every single day, a little at a time. That's the truth. Are you teaching people, or are you feeling what success really is? That success doesn't just, wow, I got my S on, I made senior, woo! Success is here. No. That is a goal that I met. That is a goal to get my S on, like getting my E on, or getting my A on, or making Unit Leader Plus, or we didn't have Unit Leader Plus then, so make Unit Leader. The point is, those were goals. The success is in reaching the next day and still being in the game. The success is, if something goes wrong, finding a way around that thing that is wrong and moving forward. Get your eyes off of believing that me and the other seniors are some gods that just get it all right, because there might be a few of them out there that always get it right, but I'm telling you right now, this girl right here, this senior executive, does not get it right all the time. And I try to share those experiences with you more than the right experiences. Because just like my kids, you don't want to see the people you care about go down roads they don't have to go down if they would just listen and take your direction. But I realize in this business, in this family onward, no matter what, whether it's on my team or my adopted kids, I realize that in this life, just like I had to learn, although my upline tried to tell me things in the beginning too, that I had to learn for myself. That I had to figure out, that really wasn't such a good idea. But I don't want to tell them that. But I had to learn it myself. That's okay. As long as you're willing not to give up on you. My success is still getting up every single day. No matter what's happened in my life, no matter who's let me down. And moving forward. That letting down part may not have anything to do with Avon. It may have everything to do with your personal life. It could be something to do with your kids. It could be something to do with your family. It could have something to do with your best friend. It could have something to do with your other job at work. That somebody is letting you down. Somebody is disappointing you. Somebody is acting like they shouldn't act, and it's hurting you. But you can only be responsible for how you handle it. People say, people walk all over, you let people walk all over you all the time. I got to tell you something. I was that chick. I was that chick who used to let people walk all over me all the time. I know, 6 foot, big hair, you can't believe it. I'm getting it. I'm feeling what you're saying. But I'm telling you that I was the person. And sometimes I go back to that because it's so easy to go back to the wrong things, the wrong activities, the wrong ways of being, the wrong selections in life. It's not good, but see, it feels so comfortable to go back to the bad habits. I'm telling you, keep yourself on the straight and narrow. Don't let others hold you back. Most of all, don't let yourself hold you back. Because see, you can blame those people in your life all day long, but you are the one who's responsible for your reactions and your actions about what you're going to do about it. Why are you going to sit there and argue with somebody who doesn't even get what you do? Laugh at them, smile, say good riddance, and move on and get it done. And tune in to your success today. Prepare for your success tomorrow. Know where you want to be in your success next week. Those people are around for one reason, babe. Come on. They're there to keep you down. They're there to tell you what you're never going to be in life. They're there to try to convince you that you could not possibly be better than them. And I told somebody the other day, these people are fearful of your success. They are fearful of what you will become. They are fearful that you will become independent and that you will be the best independent sales representative that Avon has ever seen. That you will be the best leader ever in your district. The catty ones in the districts or the divisions. You know them. The ones who go, oh, hi, baby, how you doing? When they see you. But as soon as you turn your back and you walk the other way, I don't know who she thinks she is. That Molly STONE-BIBB, she gets on them stupid conference calls and she talks to all these people. She ain't making no money off them, but she just doing what she can to help everybody. What is wrong with her? That onward group, what, she thinks she is super senior? No, but I will be. I will get the national senior. You can bet your ass on that. I will get there. And I will get there while helping others. No matter who likes it. That is where my journey is. And that is where my success lies. And my success may be different than a lot of people out there. But if there is one person who can take anything that I share and it will help them in their personal life or it will help them in their business, no matter what their business is, no matter what it is in their life, then God use it. That's what I say. Don't tell me you're going to put me through all this stuff in my life, God, and not let me use it to help somebody else. Because that's what this life is about. It's not all about you, Cupcake. It's not all about me. It's about being the best you can be. I want to read you something. I haven't put this out in a very long time. As a matter of fact, I think that on Onward, I don't think I've ever put this out, but I will put this up tonight if somebody doesn't copy me word for word and put it on Onward for me. You know, you always hear me talking about which road are you going to take? You going to take the high road? What are you going to do? So I want you to listen to this, and I'm going to try to get through this without getting all choked up, but you know me. It happens, and I'm drinking too, so you know how that goes, right? Okay, so let me read this to you, and we're gonna get you guys off of here in a timely manner so I can get Lee to upload this video for me, because he's awesome like that. So this is called The Road to Success, and some of you might have seen it before or heard it before. But I keep this taped up in my office because I need it about 18 times a day. So here goes. It says, the road to success is not straight. There is a curve called failure, a loop called confusion, speed bumps called friends, red lights called enemies, and caution lights called family. You will have flats called jobs, but if you have a spare called determination, an engine called perseverance, insurance called faith, and a driver called believe, you will make it to a place called success. Did you hear that? The road to success is not straight. There is a curve called failure, a loop called confusion, speed bumps called friends, red lights called enemies, and caution lights called family. You will have flats called jobs. But if you have a spare, here it comes. If you have a spare called determination, and an engine called perseverance, insurance called faith, and a driver called believe, you will make it to a place called success. It doesn't get any realer than that. It doesn't. Because I know you have all experienced, if not one of those things, all of them, like me. But I'm telling you, success is at the end of that road. But will you do what it takes? Will you little by little become the best you that you can be every single day? Work your way through the people who want to keep you down. The people who don't believe in you. Be a little successful every day, and some days you're going to be a lot successful. Some days it's going to seem like it comes so easy, and other days you're going to say, my God, I just took 3 steps backwards. Please, God, let me just take 1 step forward. But in comes tomorrow, and it happens. You are not a quitter unless you give up on you. And I did that for many years. Long before Avon, I gave up on me. And I let my kids watch it, which is even more devastating. But I feel like I've re-earned the respect because I've said, see, even when I was at my worst, here I am. I didn't give up. I said no more. And I said, I want more than what I have right now. The deal is, how bad do you want to be a better you? Don't be me. Don't look to be me. You can use some of the actions I use, just if you ain't 6 foot and you got big hair, you better watch who you say it to. I am going to tell you that. But you can do this. You can do anything. Look, if Avon's not your deal, I'm not gonna put you down for that. If Avon's not your deal, move on. Move on and find out what your deal is. And when you find it, be great at it. That's what I say to you. Greatness will not come overnight. Greatness will not come in a year. Greatness comes in a lifetime. When are you going to start to live? And when are you going to start to see your greatness? Lee, what do you have for us tonight, my dear? Take us out with a great song.
Hi, guys. Thank you, guys.